Saints Falcons recap, ladies and gentlemen. The drought is over. Finally. The Saints going to win. Huge game. We are here talking about anything and everything. What a time to be alive. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, with me right here. This is one of the infamous fentanyl-laced beers out of the ice chest from some random person on the sidewalk outside of the Superdome. They said, "What? We have cold beers?" I said, "How much?" They said, "You tell me." Insane answer. Insane thing to hear. So gave him 10 for 2. Ladies and gentlemen, what a time to be alive. The Saints get a win against the Falcons. Let's talk about it, right? So let's go to the game first. Or actually, let's go to Rizzi first. Let's go to Darren Rizzi first, the Rizzler first. This is from Cat Terrell, ESPN. Darren Rizzi said he thought the crowd and the energy was great today. I agree. It wasn't a completely full stadium, but they were very loud. So when I first got there, weak turnout from the crowd. No doubt about it. There was a ton of empty seats. Brutal. Now, granted, it was raining in New Orleans. It was storming, so the weather never helps. It's hard to get to the Superdome. A lot of walking, very walkable city. So obviously that didn't help anything, but weak turnout for sure, especially considering it's the Falcons. Darren Rizzi said he clogged the toilet in the head coach's locker room when he got to the stadium and thought this is going to be a crappy day. This is a shocking thing to read. It's an absolutely shocking thing to read. Doesn't mean anything. I'm not exactly sure. Rizzi said he ripped Peyton Turner's ass for celebrating with 30 seconds left in the game. Turner tried to get him back at the end of the game and accidentally hit him right where he has a history of stingers and made his entire arm go numb. That's why Rizzi looked hurt post-game. So post-game, me and the absolute high-level 5-star all-22 group that I watched games with, we're watching the game. We're thinking the same thing. We're thinking, man, Rizzi looks like he's hurt. We thought he tore his ACL. And turns out he just had stingers or whatever. So on kind of, selfishly, I wish he would have torn his ACL. Like, imagine the storyline if Rizzi wins his first game, tears his ACL on the sideline, and coaches the rest of the season from a wheelchair. That would have been out of control. So let's go ahead and get to the box score, and then we'll talk about the entire game. Box score: first downs 25-14 Falcons, 468 to 365 Falcons. Yards per play 6.4 to 7.0, and then rushing yards per attempt 5.7 to 3.6. Turnovers 1. All right, and then time of possession 35-24. If you've been watching this channel for long enough, you know that the Saints obviously lost this box score. I mean, this is a disaster. You're going to lose by almost 10 in the first downs. You lose by 100 yards in the total yards. Yards per play is good. Like 7 yards per play is well above average. The Falcons' defense is horrific. We know that. But to allow 6.4 is not good. And then the rushing, 3.6 yards a rush on one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL. And then giving up 5.7 is not good. Their turnover is a bit fugazi because the turnover at the end, you could argue if Alvin catches that pass, the turnover never happens. I could hear that. So box score, I would say, yeah, this is a fake box score. Yes, the Falcons probably did deserve to win the game. The Falcons probably, if I'm doing the math, probably deserve to win by 3. But at this point in the season, who cares, right? Like, throw the box score out, throw the analytics out. It feels good to get a win. It feels good to have a victory, especially against the Atlanta Falcons. This is not the time to break down the stats. This is not the time to break down the analytics. This is the time to be happy. And I'll tell you this, in the Dome, when I first got there, okay, so we get there in the Dome. First of all, let's take a look at this. This is the Dome Dogs at halftime. At halftime, I knew what I had to do. The all-22 Luscious Boys 228 Syndicate team that I watched the games with, they got the chicken tenders. And I said, chicken tenders do sound good, but I got to do what I got to do. 2 Dome Dogs, no condiments, nothing. I added a little bit of forearm just for the girth. Okay, you can see in the photo here, there's not a condiment in sight, but there is plenty of forearm. Knocked out these Dome dogs, got us the W. The Dome was rocking. I mean, the Dome, the people who were there were the true sickos, the true diehards. They didn't have to be there. They wanted to be there. The guys in front of us, season ticket holders, and then another group of season ticket holders. We were all exchanging high fives, hugs, all that stuff before the game. We knew what we were there for, and we were hoping for the Rizzler to deliver. The Rizzler did deliver, and it was an absolutely incredible atmosphere. I've had some comments in the YouTube this week when they said, like, you know, I know you're positive, I know you're optimistic, but I'm kind of over it. Like, what is there to be positive about? Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, the NFL is on the TV. The Saints are playing football. It's an excuse to watch football for 12 hours straight, eat 2 hot dogs with no condiments, and drink a couple of beers. If you can't get excited for that, I don't know what to tell you. And today was a good day to be excited for the New Orleans Saints. Is it you know, long term? Does it really matter? Probably not. We're 3-7. It is what it is, but damn, it feels good to get a win. The whole way home. We're in the rain. The whole way home in the rain. Non-stop who dat chants, non-stop hugs, non-stop high fives, non-stop fist bumps. That's what it's all about. And I know it's easy to kind of look at this from 20,000 feet up and say, oh, the team should tank. Oh, we want Shedeur Sanders. Oh, we want Cam Ward. Oh, you know, fire Rizzi, fire Kubiak, fire Allen. I'm not going to the game. I'm boycotting. I'll tell you this right now. Today is what it's all about. Today feels damn good. And I'm doing this video. I might go jump out into the city. I might go to Aaron Rose. I might get me a Guinness, a creamer. I might split the G. Who knows what's about to happen. But it feels like a good day to be a Saints fan. And as far as the Falcons, let's look at the box score. Bijan, 20 carries, 116 for 5.8 yards a carry. Tough. That is not good for us, allowing 32 carries, 181 yards on the ground for 5.7, 2 touchdowns. I thought Cousins was kind of whatever. I thought Cousins was mediocre at best. I mean, that's what I expected. Cousins just isn't it. I mean, he's not it as much as Carr isn't it. And I thought Carr was pretty bad today too. I mean, I thought Carr, he had a couple good throws, like the touchdowns to Marquez were good, but the empty set, like Derek Carr in the empty set, just the game on his shoulders is not where I want the team to be. And if there was one critique I would have for this game and for this team, it was Kubiak. And I thought Kubiak got away from the rush way too early. And, you know, I understand whenever the defense adjusts and you want to do something different, but that doesn't mean abandon what is working, right? It doesn't mean abandon it. So if we're running Alvin Kamara and it's working, or we're running Taysom Hill and it's working, I don't think it makes any sense to abandon that run just because they adjust to it. And there was a couple of situational spots, let me show them here, where I thought Rizzi, and these are like difficult. These are difficult situational spots where I would have gone for it. Where are they? Let's see. They were like the 4th and 1s. Rizzi decided to punt. Let's see here. 4th and 1. Yeah, 4th and 1 at the New Orleans 47. So I tweeted this out. I think 4th and 1, the Saints should basically always go for it. Because with Taysom Hill, you pretty much have a built-in tush-push. And I know you're going to say, like, oh, well, James, the Saints went for it on 4th and 2 and Taysom didn't get it. Sure. But I would assume, quick napkin math, I would guess Taysom is probably like 70% to convert a 4th and 1. That's probably a little low, honestly. But if you're 70%, go for it. And yeah, that means you will fail 3 times out of 10. And that will suck. That will feel bad. But the 7 times you get it will feel good. And when you think about the Philadelphia Eagles and the tush push, yeah, sometimes they got stopped. But if they're going for it 8 out of 10 times, or if they're getting it 8 out of 10 times, that feels good. right? So I think the Saints should adopt that kind of philosophy, especially with the fact that they're 3-7, 2-7 in this game. Go for it. 4th and 1, 4th and 2. It should be unless you're on your own, like 20, go for it. You have Taysom Hill. That's what he's there for. He's probably the best short yardage back in the NFL. Go for it. Run the ball. All right? Do what you got to do. That like fullback dive, misdirection play that we run, just do that. Do that over and over and over. Make that your tush push. I thought there was a few plays where we needed 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2 or whatever, where Kubiak had Taysom in the backfield by himself. I like the idea to go for it. I hate the idea to get Taysom in a very predictable formation where it's just him back there. Like, where do you think he's going to go? That's very Pete Carmichael-esque. I thought Kubiak kind of lost the plot in the back half of the game. I thought the second half was honestly horrible. Honestly horrific as far as it comes to play calling. I mean, we had 3 points in the second half. We come out with a win. Got to put a lot of credit on the defense for doing what they got to do. Kubiak has to be better at understanding what works. And in this game, it was getting the ball to Kamara. You know, if you look at like the box score here, let's say they're stacking the box. All right, they're stacking the box. So if you want to get away from Alvin running, fine. But my brother in Christ, we have Kevin Austin, Juwan Johnson, Dante Pettis, Jordan Mims, Foster Moreau, Taysom. Like, who's Marquez Valdes-Scantling? Who's catching these passes? Run the football. If not, throw it to Kamara. Okay, you can't abort what's working because they're adjusting and get the ball to Dante Pettis. And we saw way too much in the back half. Let's see, halftime right here. Let's see, then we go Derek Carr, 1st and 10. So Carr, play action, he scrambles. Kamara left for 1 yard, and then Carr incomplete. Okay, not good. Do not want a 3 and out of the half. Do not want that at all. Then again, 1st and 10, Derek Carr, pass. Why? Why are we doing that? 1st and 10, Carr pass. 2nd and 5, Kamara. Or 1st and 10, Carr. 2nd and 5, Kamara. 3rd and 5, pass. Run the football. Run the ball. I understand that they're adjusting, but you cannot put the game on the shoulders of Derek Carr and Dante Pettis and Juwan Johnson and Kevin Austin Jr. Run the football. So I thought Kubiak was poor in the second half, but it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it feels good to win the game. It feels good to snap the streak. Again, does it matter in the long run? Does it matter as far as like the conference, the division? No. Does it matter as far as Rizzi being the head coach? No. Does it matter as far as salary cap and what we're doing with the roster and Mickey Loomis and Gail Benson? No. But for this Sunday, for right now, God, enjoy yourself. Be happy. The Saints got to win. Feels good. We'll be covering this all week, as always, as only we can do, really. So stay tuned. Get on down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, pick it up. Let's toast together. If you got yourself a fentanyl-covered ice chest beer from some random person on the sidewalk, put it up. We'll toast. Who dat?